Previously on Nail and Screw. So here's a recap of part one of our garden renovation. And if you missed that, make sure to catch it. There'll be a link up in the top hand corner. And we started off with some construction sand, as you can see. And even the grass is looking pretty full. Man, it's not a sight for sore eyes. But we jumped into high gear very quickly and started digging up the foundation areas. Foundations went in, the brickwork went up, and it turned out absolutely beautifully. They were all plastered. We even got our irrigation system going in, which will make garden maintenance a breeze in the future, and it was super simple to install, so go check that out. And then we wrapped up with all 5 planter beds finally plastered with drainage out of 2 of them and a much leveler surface, thank goodness. I hope that's a word, by the way. But anyway, you're just in time for part 2 coming up on Nail and Screw. What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're going from bare bones to beauty in just a bit. Well, there you have it. This is the final layout of the planter beds, and you can see the grass has picked up even after the plentiful rain that we've had over the last couple of weeks. And at least it's allowed some time now for the planter beds to dry out, but they're looking quite brown. You can see we've cut out an area for a big tree over there. We've got this area designated to a water feature in time to come. Another lovely tree in that corner to provide some shade. I also got some small plants over there, and this beautiful cycad from a family member. So hopefully that will root nicely and take up its final home. This planter bed is going to be dedicated to fragrant plants and herbs, so it's easy to collect for the kitchen. So that's exciting. And yeah, we're going to add the focal plants in each of the planter beds. Now over here you can see I've got some white paint. This is an exterior PVA based paint which will be perfect for outdoor applications, and I've got a large brush to apply it with as well. I'm looking forward to getting a lick of paint on these planter beds to change them from this drab brown. And I've got my trusty helper. She's super excited and can't wait to get it out and done on the planter beds. So let's get cracking and put the paint on. So I'm starting out with painting. As you can see, I'm just doing all the cutting in before we get onto the main areas of painting. I'm using a synthetic brush, 75mm, just to get good coverage over most of the areas. And then once we have a good clean cut and finish, we'll come over with the roller and patch up any holes or dents that may appear later on. So there you have it. All the planter boxes are cut in on all the edges where the paint roller won't be able to get into. You can see it's coming up quite nicely. It's quite a vivid, brilliant white. So we finished off on this one. So looking good. Now we can get ready to get the roller in action and give the first coat over all the planter boxes before the second coat. Well, there you have it. All 5 plant boxes have been painted with the first coat. You can see there is still some patches that you can see through through the camera. On the inside, I've added a bit of a lip with the paint. I'll come back with a brush in the corners just to ensure that it is complete. But essentially, I will also be painting a bit of bitumen on the inside, just to ensure that the water runs straight through and that it drains properly. But looking good so far. So it's ready for the next coat. I'm excited. Let's go.
So as you can see, we're loading up a bit of good soil, so introducing that to the landscape now. But as you can see here, if I step back, there's quite a slope from that corner down all the way to here, and I've actually marked out the level line, as you can see with those pencil marks over there. So it's at least 10 to 15 centimeters difference, which we'll have to backfill. I don't need to go all the way to that top level, just to get a less steep gradient, which will be satisfactory enough, and then obviously level out these areas where it dips downwards away from each of the drains, so that the water can drain into it instead of away from it. And the same on that end over there. That slope is actually not too bad, as you can see. So let's go, and then after that we fill up the plant pots.
And just like that, we've got a couple of the planter beds already filled with soil and a few plants, but more importantly, a level surface. Thank goodness. The grass will definitely love that. Speaking of which, we've already got a little visitor who seems to be loving it already. He's definitely going to enjoy the bird bath, which is in its temporary place for now. And that's the final planter bed over there. So looking pretty good. I'm super happy. Coming up next on Nail and Screw.